So what's good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel, your girl Natasha Nisha. So on this one, I'll be doing a third installment to my cryptocurrency journey. And on this one today, I'll be unpacking the blockchain technology. I'll be unpacking a little bit about Bitcoin mining and just discussing a little bit about the decentralization aspects of Bitcoin. So if you're interested to know more, let's learn together, and please stay till the end. So if you saw the last one, there I spoke about like how we buy pieces of Bitcoin. Now these pieces are actually called Satoshis, and that is named after the creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. So we buy pieces of Bitcoin because one whole Bitcoin is relatively expensive. So I was looking out the price as today, end of September 2024, one whole Bitcoin in South African rands, you will pay 113 million rands for one whole Bitcoin. And if you want to buy it with US dollars, then for one Bitcoin, just one, you're paying 6 million 400 and so US dollars. So like these are such big figures. So yeah, it's just crazy where we at today. So as I said, we buying pieces, and these pieces are called Satoshis. And if you currently like have one Bitcoin, owning one whole Bitcoin, you like on a whole nother level. So yeah, there's that. So either ways, Bitcoin was created by Satoshi, and there is a limited supply of Bitcoin. It's capped. It cannot be more than 21 million is where the Bitcoin supply is kept. And currently today, where we are at 19.76 million. So we have like 19, 20, 21. It's just like a little under 2 million more of Bitcoin to be mined, and then that's it. All Bitcoin will be generated, and this will, as a result, lead to an increase in demand for Bitcoin, as well as the increase in the price of Bitcoin. And yeah, so with the mining process currently, as it is, like approximately every 10 minutes, new Bitcoin is mined. The average time to create a new block on the blockchain is like, so every 10 minutes, new Bitcoin is mined. So it is estimated that this supply of Bitcoin is expected to generate until the year 2140, or just a little before that. So from 2024 to 2140, I don't know, that year 2140, and by then Bitcoin supply would have been done basically. So as a result of this supply being kept, it increases scarcity over time and the value. So that is a right thing that Satoshi worked there and programmed that into the code. So another thing that I want to unpack here a little bit is the technology behind and that is supporting Bitcoin is called the blockchain technology. Now this is a disruptive technology. It's innovative. It's a total new use case, from what we know from the old centralized financial systems. And so so building this thing up, there is something that is called the blockchain trilemma. Like dilemma when you have to like stuck between two decisions. Now with blockchain, it's three. It's called a blockchain trilemma. And so there's three important aspects that need to be present, and these are scalability, and it's scalability, it's the decentralized aspect, and it's the security aspect. So these three need to be present, like in a project basically on the blockchain. So I'm just gonna explain a little bit. The first one is like the scalability. So scalability is what gives us high transaction throughput, so it can reach many more people, and this is like also in regard to the future growth of the project. And then the scalability includes things like also how many users per second, etc. That's the first aspect that needs to be present, you know. And then there's the decentralized aspect of the whole thing. Now, currently, decentralization is the central ethos of blockchain technology. And what is decentralization? Decentralization is just the fact that um, it gives power out. No one entity can control any of the data and the transactions that run through the data. So there's a decentralization aspect of this blockchain technology, you know. Like in the old days, we had a bank where it was one central unit controlling. Now with Bitcoin, as I said, the decentralization is central. It's a central ethos of the blockchain technology, that it's many more people that it will go through, you know. And yeah, so there's that. So as a result, now there's like many processors, computers worldwide who are, you know, like processing the transactions on the blockchain. So there's a little bit of the decentralization aspect of blockchain that is very important. And then the third aspect that is very important as well, needs to be present, is security. We know that, you know, like this is security against hacks on the system, whereby people can come in, hack, and manipulate transactions, manipulate data, and do this for financial gain. So there is a reason. So these are the three challenges, and these three need to be present in any blockchain. But as a result, this is the thing that I'm now explaining, called the blockchain trilemma. So many times we find that whilst you work towards optimizing one aspect of this, it tends to compromise another aspect. So many times we find that it's only two of these three aspects that you know, we are able to give priority to, and as a result, one aspect many times is sacrificed. You know, it's a trade-off now between these three, which, and as a result of Bitcoin, the very first cryptocurrency, they went with decentralization and security, and they sacrificed scalability. So scalability is things like access and speed, and you know, like that kinds of things, like the higher throughput. And so Ethereum as well sacrifice their scalability the very same way as Bitcoin. But then Ethereum went with ETH 2.0, and there they sacrificed decentralization. So they went with scalability, which is you know, like scalability is access and speed of throughput, and you know, like, yeah, many more users. And so the ETH 2.0 went with scalability and security on their choice. There's other tokens like Polkadot, which sacrifice decentralization. Solana sacrificed security. Cardano as well, that is like extremely decentralized, and it's known to be the future, because they green. It's 100% sustainable on the Cardano network, also known as ADA, and their speed there, and you know, like, yeah. So either ways, this blockchain trilemma has one choosing. But this is the challenge that comes with the trilemma. But as a result, now where we are currently today, there have been ongoing innovations across the ecosystem in the space, that has led to a range of layer ones and layer twos, which now have solutions, and they are actually working to resolve this Bitcoin trilemma, this blockchain trilemma, sorry. As a result, once and for all, they're working to resolve this currently where we are. So that's just something to know. And then, so I mentioned layer ones and layer two. So what are those? So basically, the layer ones, these are built on the blockchain. So the layer one is it maintains its own network of nodes built on the blockchain, and it's these layer ones basically which validate the transaction and add new blocks. So these are active in the mining process of Bitcoin, the layer ones, no? And so I said the layer ones are built on the blockchain. They maintain their own network of nodes, and which validate the transactions and can add new blocks to the blockchain. So each node will follow a consensus algorithm, like either proof of work in the case of Bitcoin or proof of stake in the case of ETH 2.0, and so this is where now they agree on the validity of the transactions, in the mining process. So basically, what is this whole mining process? This mining process is actually how now new Bitcoin are created. This process is called mining, and then also blockchains or blocks basically are also validated and open in this mining process. So basically, these miners need to solve an extremely complicated math problem that will verify as a result the transactions, and as a result, these miners now earn and they are rewarded with Bitcoin for, this work that they do, this applying of computing power. So there's lots of hardware, software that they use, computers, that takes up lots of electricity as well in this mining process. So there's two kinds. There's the proof of stake and there's a proof of work. So something else to know about the blockchain. So these miners will validate the transactions on a block, and so each block as well is chained to the next block. This is because and to prevent blocks being altered. So this is where the blockchain comes in, and this also speaks to the security of the whole process. So each block will contain information from a previous block. So when we basically want to buy, we'll put in our transaction, and these transactions are queued, and then they will enter a block, and then that block will be closed, and the blockchain itself will create a hash, and they will deal with that, and they'll just keep continuing doing the winning miner there that solves the math problem will be rewarded, and then again for the next block the process will repeat itself. Transactions will come in, they'll be queued, they will be entered into the block. The winning miner that solves this transaction basically is rewarded, and in this whole solving process as well, it verifies transactions, it opens the block, and etc, etc. So there's a little bit of the back thing about the mining process of Bitcoin. Now there is this two, as I said, it's the proof of work and the proof of stake. And so the proof of work is excellent for decentralization, we find, but this tends to decrease the overall network throughput, and that is the speed of transaction. So transaction speeds drop as a result many times of the proof of work process, and this has resulted in a hurdle to widespread adoption. There's just something to know. So, what else? So I spoke about the Bitcoin and how there is it's a limited supply. It's kept at 21 million. Currently we're at 19.76. So it's just a little bit under 2 million to still be, mined. And also we need to add in there something that, like, every 4 years there is a Bitcoin halving, and this halving will reduce by 50% the amount of Bitcoin minted per block. So each year it gets less, like it reduces by 50%. I don't know if that's making sense, but yeah, and as a result, also that just increases like everything, like the overall demand and price of Bitcoin as a result, this halving process. So I spoke about the layer ones, the layer twos. So the layer ones are those that are built on the blockchain, and then the layer twos is basically built on top of the layer ones. The layer twos are built on top of layer ones, and these help to extend the capabilities. These usually help with speed and scalability of a project. The layer twos is basically the scaling layer. If you wanna, scale your project, then they build out layer twos. And the layer twos also can periodically update the main chain, layer one, and then also the layer ones. Oh, also the layer twos built on the layer one uses the network and the security infrastructure of the layer one built above it. So it uses the network and security infrastructure of the layer ones. But the difference here with the layer twos and the layer ones is that the layer twos are more flexible in their capabilities. So there's something also to know is that many times the project is released, they'll have a white paper where everything will be written about the project, about the code base, what is programmed in, etc., etc. It's wise. If you're interested to check out the Bitcoin white paper, I'm yet to do that. And so also in closing, I just wanna, and I don't know if I mentioned that MasterCard and Visa are offering a Bitcoin card, and there you're getting a 3% reward. Yeah, they get a 3% reward. So yeah, this has been everywhere over the show. I spoke about a little bit about the Bitcoin mining process. I spoke a little bit about the technology behind behind Bitcoin, and that is the blockchain technology, and the trilemma or the challenge that it's currently facing with the trilemma, and how there's tons of innovation as a result. Also, when there's many new projects now which are working towards resolving this once and for all. And then finally, I spoke a little bit about the decentralization aspect and how that is central, ethos of the blockchain technology versus, so this is like basically going against the old central bank, reserve bank system, whereby it was just one, entity that controlled, but now it's many more, and it's just an improvement on the whole banking system, this whole thing is called DeFi. So it's actually a sense of decentralized finance, whereas the old um, financial system was a more centralized financial system in one place, one authority, one, entity controlling. Whereas now it's decentralized finances, and where there's many more, you know, um, entities, not just one person in control. So this is all for this one. Let me know what you learned, and if there's anything you want to add, like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next time. Peace out.